Well, a good friend of mine by the name of George Cook went the year before. I was scheduled to go with him. When he came back, I wasn't able to go because of work, but when he came back, he was telling me how great it was, and I decided I better go experience this for myself. Well, the classes are pretty broad. You start out basic, obviously safety being the paramount consideration in any class like that. I believe there were 12 of us, but we started out very basic and then grew on those skills every day. Talking about grip, we start with grip, obviously, stance, the fact that the four basic rules of safety, all of those things were, I wouldn't say preached, but certainly,
Drilled down.
they were used a great deal, and justifiably so, because you had a group there with various backgrounds. Not everybody was, at level A, and not everybody was at level C. So you had to bring everybody up at the same speed. So, and we had people there, had a couple there that were probably in their early 70s, and we had a couple of young men there that, when I call them young men, they were teenagers, but nice young men there that were probably as knowledgeable as anybody there. The way it worked, the first day was just basically going over, again, the basics of operation, stance, grip, four safety rules, and then we would have what I called skull sessions in the evening after dinner on what we were going to cover the next day. And that would be, we shot from a moving vehicle. We shot moving on the ground, forward and backward, side by side, and covered all of those basics and those skills. We shot pistols at long range. We shot rifles at long range. We shot rifles at short range. So it was.
You're covering it all.
We covered it all, and in a week, and there was never a dull moment. That's what was really nice. Well, what really stood out to me was I don't know if you call it a protocol, but a training method called simunitions. And simunitions is a dedicated round to a dedicated pistol that uses a plastic projectile. And the neat thing about the simunitions is it really gets you the blood flowing, the adrenaline is flowing, and you're actually you're placing yourself in a situation or situations that you could run into or could happen to you in your everyday life, and it makes you think about what you. Matter of fact, I'll embarrass myself. The first one I did, I volunteered to go first. Probably the mistake of my life, but I volunteered to go first. And the scenario I was in, I was parked at a stoplight in a car, and a person came up from the right side, which the gentleman was named Brian, who held the simunitions training. Now what you have to understand, he's got a full face protection on, throat protection, chest protection. I've got a headgear and throat protection on, and he demanded my money. So I stepped out of the car, turned, and shot him. Well, that wasn't the thing to do. I'm now serving 20 to life in Leavenworth. So, but the adrenaline was flowing, and I learned probably more from making that mistake than anything else I did the rest of the time I was there.
Yeah.
And then I got a chance to redeem myself on another exercise that went really well, but the simunitions was probably the thing that I enjoyed the most. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. The camp is an old 4-H camp. The lady and a gentleman by the name of Bill and Nancy bought and are renovating as they go. They're holding classes. When I say classes, they're holding or have lodging for different folks or different types of genre. I mean, for instance, the week before we were there, I think they had some long distance runners, a group of long distance runners there that were training in altitude. So it was perfect for that situation. So they catered to a little bit of everyone, but they were nice enough to allow us to use the facility for the trip to Cloudcroft with regard to the training, on the gun training. But Bill and Nancy are great people. The meals are home cooked.
Nice.
They're held in the central central dining hall.
Yeah.
And they're home cooked meals, and they'll go, if you have a special diet, they'll jump through hoops to take care of you with regard to any kind of special considerations you have on your diet. You're eating well, you're breathing clean, fresh air. It's not 105 degrees in the shade. It's it's in the mid 50s or 40s at night and gets up to the low 70s during the day. And I probably saw, I don't know, I didn't count them all, but I probably saw at least 150 elk.
Wow.
While I was there. We saw a black bear while we were there. All kinds of wildlife, just a beautiful setting, period. Great, absolutely, yeah, the people were the best. I met some folks there that I have lasting relationships with now. A lot of them are going back this year. We're looking forward to going back this year and having as much fun as we did last year. Yeah, it's just a lot of camaraderie, a lot of training. It's not what I would call intense. It's very laid back, but it's purposeful. I'll put it that way. And Chris does a great job with that, with all levels of people, in my opinion. There is no need to feel that's something I would like to hit on. There's no reason to feel apprehensive or intimidated because everyone there started. I mean, I know that's an old cliche, but everyone had to start somewhere. But that's exactly how you're treated at this camp. You can be a novice and go out there and totally enjoy yourself, or you can be very well skilled in every acumen and totally enjoy yourself there as well. Oh, I'm going back. There's not want to. I am going back. It's an incredible experience. I'll get to see meet the friends that I made last year.
Yeah.
I'll get to hang around with those folks and tell lies and stories around a campfire and just enjoy myself. And again, you get out of this brutal heat.